Okay, at 7:15, April 23rd, 2026, I'll call this meeting of the McMinnville Fire District to order. And roll call, please.
President Garvin.
Here.
Vice President Smith.
Here.
Secretary Pratt.
Here.
Treasurer Trapp.
Here.
Director Hyder is absent.
Here. And President Garvin is online this evening, and so I'll be running the meeting on his behalf. And let's do Pledge of Allegiance. Secretary Pratt, do you mind? Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is any changes to the agenda? Seeing none. Next item, the consent agenda, approval of meeting minutes from our March 24th meeting.
Very nice. We approve those.
We have a motion to approve our last meeting minutes. Do I have a second? Second. And we have a second. Treasurer Trapp, thank you. All in favor of approving last meeting minutes, say aye. Aye. And all of opposed. Moving on. Next is the financial report.
Thank you, Board. I appreciate being able to present to you this evening. Well, we're actually 75% for the year rather than 67%. So through March is 75%. And of comparatively, we have received 85% of our revenues because our property taxes come in generally in October and November. So that's why we're over the 75% mark. We have also found that we have some contract revenue that needed to be billed out related to football games and other items. So that has also been billed out. So good job to the staff and teams for that. Thank you for the help. On the expenditure side, which also should be 75% of the budget for the year, we have total expenditures of 70%. So for personnel services, we're running slightly under that 75% mark for budget. That's really good. The only one that's over is professional development as a category. And then the debt service payments, there's only one more, maybe two more loans that get paid in June, but the majority of them are already paid, and that's why that category of 95% is higher than the 75% mark for the year. Expenditures are running pretty consistent. You can see in the March column that we did receive $622,000 in revenue. That's lower than it has been in past months, particularly due to property taxes and dates. And our total expenditures are at 1.26 million. However, that March is a slower month for revenues, and our expenditures are pretty consistent month over month. So I'll just pause there if there are any questions or concerns.
I'll add to that, as I do each month, our first federal account, $1,116,925, and our LGIP is sitting at 2.983 million. We did receive a Yamhill County CCO payment of $585,380. It's good news. We're starting to see the GEMT payments. We have been told we're going to see another large payment in June. We're skeptical on that. We think it'll probably be after July, but kudos to the state. They are starting to catch up. So that's actually great news.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Crystal.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, next we have public comment. Anybody online that would like to provide public comment? Thank you. Anybody in the room? Like. Okay. We'll close public comment. Next item in business. Draft, you have to. Not Joanna?
Action item, are you talking about LoSAP?
Yes.
Okay, LoSAP, I do have a current balance for that account of $954,778.20. Something looking forward, we have one administrator of that account, which has been Michelle. Michelle, that's it tomorrow, so we'll be a new administrator for the district of that account. I'm going Michelle talk on that.
Okay. All right, next we have board information reports. Board members have information they'd like to share. Okay, we'll move on to information department reports. First up, IAFF local 3099.
No updates here. We would just like to unanimously thank Michelle for everything she's done for the body as well as the department as a whole, the district as a whole. She's put a lot of work in and she's an asset that we're sad to see go.
All right, thank you for that. Those nice comments. Appreciate that. Anything else from 3099? Moving on to McMinnville Volunteer Firefighter Association President Goodman.
I have nothing to report, and also I'd like to thank Michelle for her help on the being administrative person for those staff for us.
Thank you for that. Okay, moving on, fire chief report.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Chief Darby, you want to start?
Sure, thanks, Chief. As usual, pretty busy month for us. This is March's report, just FYI. 47 total fire inspections. We're kind of in our assembly months where we're doing our restaurants, bars, churches, things like that. County driveway inspections, pretty standard for us. We do, as you guys know, we do our new construction driveway access inspections. Development's kind of steady. We did have 3 pre-apps that came through the building department, as well as 4 standard, sprinkler fire alarm plan reviews, as well as Steve was out doing some building finals. We had 3 building finals last month. And then our smoke alarm inspections, we get those requests here and there. So just a few of those, 4 of those came in. Steve was also doing some pub ed talks at Juliet's house in Parkland. One of the great things to report is we didn't have any fires that were investigated. So fires, traditional full fire investigations conducted. Till today. We didn't have an intentionally set fire today. So those things happen. Quick update on Compliance Engine. We did start Compliance Engine back in August of last year. It's the Bricers program that helps track our fire and life safety inspection, testing, and maintenance of our systems. As expected, 430 reports. Those reports are growing. We're seeing really good compliance. A 93.3% compliance of our fire protection system is outstanding. That means our business owners are taking care of their stuff, and our vendors are staying on top of them as well. So that's excellent. This is one of the programs that is going to take time to develop more data, but it's going to give us good solid data sets as we move forward. And I'm very happy with Compliance Engine so far. Our Before You Burn update, quick quick update on that in the sense we are seeing people register for burning. It's not as much as I'd like to see, but we are also still working closely with ODF and DEQ to actually get some public educational flyers out. ODF is taking the lead on that. I've asked for some expedition on that, but it is going to take time. Talked to some of the departments that have done this on the eastern side of the state, Central Oregon, Mesa, Redmond, Sisters. It takes a couple years for that to kind of mature and to get the word out on that this is our new suggested platform to how you register your burns. So, but we are seeing some trickle in, and it's going to be a good program. It's also a really cool program because it's going to allow us to pump out public education material, burn changes, or just general safety messages. Because when people register in the platform, their email address is now locked into us. So it's a great way for us to capture data moving forward as well. So fun event, 2 fun events this year, Patton Middle School with Career Day, which is always fun. And the high school actually started a Career Day as well. I actually got to sit on that. It was kind of fun to sat with the pilot, a welder, a lawyer, and kind of talked about different aspects of different careers. It was kind of fun to sit on that. And then Steve Kendall, our deputy fire marshal, was able to attend the annual Oregon Fire Marshals Association conference. And then he was also officially certified as a fire public educator with DPSST, which is awesome. So with that, any questions?
Chief Show?
Just a few things here. Spent probably the last 2 or 3 months researching everybody in the department on CPR. So that's quite a few people to get through. But that's good. I think we'll have a couple people, and they're not lying people, but then everybody will be certified. Kind of prepping, planning, it's kind of coming down to crunch time. We met today, we'll meet again on Monday. We have a captain's exam, emotional exam next week. Tuesday will be the role play, and Wednesday will be the tactical. So I think that closes tomorrow. So we'll have a better idea how many candidates we anticipate having all that we had in last quarter. Kind of continuing, I kind of started what we call a tactical Tuesday with the crews to just kind of get some of them working on tacticals, getting together as a group, working through some scenarios. And that's kind of slowed that down over the last month, obviously with the testing process. My involvement, some of the chief officers, company officers involved in that. I'll get that going again next month as soon as we get through this. Continue to have bi-weekly meetings with our students. It's usually on Wednesday night before drill, just to try to check in with them, touch base if they need anything, school-wise or anything else. We also have incorporated, we inspect our rooms now, so that's kind of good. So I think that's kind of kept the upstairs tidied up a little bit. So, anyways, currently we do have 2 openings in our student president ranks. I anticipate interviewing a couple of candidates the week after next, after we get through the captain's thing. We've got a couple of qualified people, one in-house volunteer also that could potentially fill those spots, which we hope to have those filled by the middle of May. That will make us whole with the 6 student residents. We have academy starting May 1st for our 4 new hires. That'll last, it'll go on throughout the month of May, 4 weeks, with them coming online first part of June. So we'll work on that. And we've also kind of been with Bob Sutton over at the high school, because we have been running the cadet program. We've kind of looked at kind of redesigning that. So I've been working with him. We've kind of come up with some good ideas, I think, to kind of work in conjunction with the high school a little bit. They've been come for a term. You're able to give them internship credit through the high school as well. And more like an explorer, just kind of exposure thing to the fire service for kids that are currently in that career pathway at the high school. So kind of working on that and kind of working with them. So there's good things coming down the line with that. So I anticipate probably to really get that going in the fall. So it'll be like fall semester. But I've already got in some information, some flyers, some of our information. We revamped the OG on our cadet program. So he's gonna have all that information. So he will reach out to us if he has any other questions, but he will be able to answer probably a lot of their questions with the information. we have, so. That's about all I have for now. Oh, again, we've already had one meeting with county fair planning, so the next one is started a little bit earlier with the planning on that this year, and we're working on implementing some improvements from last year, so, we're follow on that, so.
Ms. T.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. For administrative services, it's been very busy, partnering with other divisions for recruitment and hiring and onboarding. So we had posted the administrative services director position, and she. Were you gonna say anything about that? Okay, I'll leave it to you. That's fine. And Amanda is our new analyst, so we've continued to work together. She's doing a terrific job, and while we're really in good hands. She's ready to start onboarding people, the 4 new dual roles on the first, so it's gonna go really well. Also, I worked with Chief in finalizing the recruiting and promotional process for the division chief recruitment. And we had interviews on, actually it's just yesterday, pretty much took all day. And so I'm in the process now of finalizing the scoring and final evaluation of that, and she probably will say something more about that. Okay, for Social Security, Amanda and I have been working with the Social Security liaison on scheduling the referendum that the board approved at the last meeting. Thinking about and putting together materials for staff, mostly, obviously all educational, scheduling the educational training with the liaison and the Social Security Administration, posting the notice of the vote, and then getting letters out to employees and former employees requesting their permission to request the refund on their behalf. That is something the district is required to do in order to request a refund of the district's portion of Social Security. Again, she has got that all under control. She's got it dialed. She has good contacts, and doing really well with that project so far. Next item, contracts. I've been trying to get as many done as I can. I love contracts. Just haven't been able to finish as many as I had hoped, but still working on those. Hopefully there will be more progress before I leave. And then finally, I worked with Crystal and Chief to support the budget process with postings and providing information to her. Amanda's gonna help with that going forward. And I feel like that's the only thing I had to add on the budget process. I do want to thank the board and especially the fire chief for a really great experience here at the district. I enjoyed working here a lot. I love my job, and that had never happened to me before, so I felt really disappointed in some ways to leave, but you've all seen the email about that, so I just want to say thank you, and to the board and to the other division chiefs and to the union and to the crews. So that's it for a report.
Thank you. I'll add to that sentiment to Michelle. Michelle came in at a very difficult time in our organization. Brandon Fire District, we really kind of had just started that transition where the city was no longer managing us, and we were managing ourselves. And with her experience, not just in the administrative services area, but her willingness to use her lawyer portion of it to really help us contractually technically, administratively, navigate, and we wouldn't be where we are today without her. So she'll be greatly missed, but she's got the job that she's dreamed of. I'll find out what that job is and I'll have it revoked soon. But I too want to thank Michelle, and this organization wouldn't be where it's at today if it wasn't for her. Thank you.
I was, on behalf of the board, gonna speak later, but it seems more appropriate right now. So on behalf of the board, Michelle, thank you so much for all your great work. And, I know it's been tremendous, just as has been said. And, was it you love contracts?
Yes.
We're gonna miss someone who loves contracts, that's for sure. So, wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you again.
Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And welcome to Amanda.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Coming into my area, so hiring update, as Ms. Teed said, we did test for, and I interviewed five, actually Michelle and I interviewed 5 potential candidates. We had some pretty good applicants with very differences of backgrounds and education. We did offer a job to a candidate, and I believe just today we did receive the tentative job offer back as approved. So that individual will be going into backgrounds. They have to do both a criminal as well as a financial background. They've already done the other testing that they have to do. As I've stated to the board before, I don't release the name until all that comes to fruition, just in case something on either one of our ends does not happen. But excited. This is somebody that Ms. Teed and I both know, and is very capable. Michelle will be very tough. Michelle will be very tough shoes to fill, but we appreciate filling the position. Potentially mid-May will be the start date. We also interviewed 4 division chiefs yesterday. We had 2 panels. We had an external and an internal panel. They had a project to do, which was part of their application packet. And then they came upstairs and they were on an external panel with the undersheriff, a captain for PD, the YCOM operations supervisor, and the division chief of 12 Valley. Very appreciative of the outside look of our candidates. It was very helpful as a fire chief to see what really their thoughts and opinions were on how these individuals may help our organization move forward. They then went downstairs to our internal, which was the 2 division chiefs you see here, Donna and BC Stone. And again, same exact criteria. It was just great for me to go down there. I met with each, before I interviewed, I met with each panel, not for their scores. I actually didn't know their scores until this morning, but for their inputs and thoughts so that I could help vet, the fit. This is a very important position in this district, and I valued all of the opinions both upstairs and downstairs. So thank you for everybody who helped. I have selected an individual. A job offer and such have not gone out yet. I believe we're still open for tomorrow. I believe, and I'll just leave it at that because that we'll have to go back and forth a little bit and then hopefully land to an agreement. Tentative start date for that position would be June 1st. Questions on that? I don't need to belabor that. We already talked about that. With that said, and I believe we all know it, but we did receive notice of arbitration. We're working through that. Our attorney is the lead on that. So any information about that will come from our attorney. YCOM IGA. I did request at the last YCOM meeting, well, actually, first I attended the YCOM meeting, but I did request at the last YCOM meeting that the McMinnville Fire District be considered for an additional seat on the YCOM user board. The reason specifically behind that, and I did reach out to our board liaison the sheriff, and the commissioner that sits on the board. Thank you to Mr. Vanderwally for bringing our request forward as our liaison. There were some questions that I was allowed to answer online. But really the reasoning behind that is when we were with the city, the intent so on the board, the sheriff always has a seat on the board, and he is always the chairperson. Then the city and county have a permanent position due to their size of their I'll call it fiscal support of Wycombe. When we left the city, we no longer have a specific say on the board. We do have a liaison, but as I stated in my information to them, the needs of all the other fire districts in this county are significantly different than ours. I just think it's important for the same exact reasons that are in the IGA that the county and the city have a seat, that the fire district has a seat. We're 62.07% of the overall Wycombe budget for fire. I believe the next closest to us, if I remember correctly, is 11%. So it's not about the money. I actually sit on the budget committee. I actually have made the motions and voted for their increases. But it's just about that voice, and it's about that transparency. So they did table it. They are going to have some work sessions. I do appreciate them considering it and talking about it. They have some other things that they're working through also in addition to that. But I do still sit on the budget committee, and I believe this might be my last year, but as far as the term. Water and light update. We did receive a bit ago an agreement from Water and Light. We did review it and provided feedback, and we have not heard anything from that feedback. That was a couple of weeks ago, two-ish, 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. So that has been completed. I sit on a radio committee that about a year and a half-ish. I've been on the committee, or the committee's been stood up to look at the replacement of the radio infrastructure, if you will, in Yamhill County. We went out for an RFI. The county went out for an RFI, request for information, in I believe it was December. They received 13 responses. Realistically speaking, there was 2 responses that were actually responses, and we as a committee reviewed those. We did come to a unanimous recommendation. We have made that recommendation to the sheriff, who also sits on the committee, who is now kind of carrying that water, if you will, as the keeper of the system. So I think soon word will come out, but I don't want to get in front of the sheriff to discuss the recommendation. But I'm a huge supporter of the recommendation. I think it's the right recommendation, and the group was unanimous in the recommendation. So, and that's the end of my report. Unless there's questions.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to correspondence. Any board members received correspondence since our last meeting?
Mr. President, we did receive a correspondence to the full board from the union. Probably enter that into the minutes for.
Yeah, we did receive a letter from union leadership regarding Social Security. So on behalf of the board, appreciate the communication. We have received it, and I thank you for that. Anything else? Okay, moving on to informational items. I have one. This evening before this meeting, we had our annual budget committee meeting, and I wanted to take just a moment to begin by thanking Fire Chief and Michelle and staff and all that goes in, Crystal, all that goes into building the budget, doing the presentation, and of course our budget committee members that were here this evening. And the budget was approved for 26-27. So on behalf of the board, thank you for all those that put together the budget, the presentation, and also thank you to the budget committee members.
Thank you.
You're not on boards yet, though, you do still have to go to our next meeting.
We do. Yeah. All right, so with that, our next meeting will be Thursday, May 28th, 6 p.m. right here. We'll finalize the budget. Thank you.
Sure.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor? Meeting adjourned.
Thank you all.